Hello, this is Mike, Fast Mike again, and want to do a video on this carburetor. I've been working on it for, I don't know, 3 or 4 days now, and I've had it all apart, and I cannot figure out what the problem is. Well, I couldn't until I think I just now solved it, and I wanted to kind of share with y'all. Okay, um, basically what happens with these carburetors, is, let me set it up right so you can see it. Okay. Because I never claimed to be a carburetor expert. I know a lot about them, uh, but they're not my expertise. I'm a kind of a jack of all trades, I guess. But anyway, what we found out was here, what I discovered is well, there's the top of the carburetor, okay, and let me turn it around here. This is the throttle linkage right here, okay? You push this thing, whoom, 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 give it gas, right? Okay, so anyway, you're pushing this, and what's supposed to happen is, you get an immediate burst of fuel through a setup called the accelerator pump, okay? And what the accelerator pump's job is to fill up with gas, and it actually bolts on the bottom here, right here, accelerator pump, right there in that little housing, okay? And what it does is it has a little vacuum diaphragm. Yeah, it's kind of like it's a diaphragm, okay? And let me show you something here. All right, this is the diaphragm. All it is just a simple little diaphragm. I dropped it on the floor. It's dirty. I gotta clean it again. Okay, but anyway, it sets in this pod like this here. Okay, it sets in that pod, and there's a spring under it. And when you pump that and push it up and down, it forces fuel up through in the top of the carburetor. Okay, well, anyway, like, you ever heard the old pumper and starter? Pumper and starter, pumper 3 times and fire it up. Okay, well, what they mean by that is, okay, when the car's running, or I'm a little nervous because I kind of aggravated and stuff, but just excuse that. But anyway, with the old carburetors, they always used to say pump it till it fires, or something like that, or and what they mean is you got your bowl, and I explained that yesterday. This is all put back together now. This is the bowl, okay? This is the bowl, and this is that adjustment. Oh shit. This is that adjustment for the bowl. And here's a better look at that sight plug I was telling you about. Right there. Okay, and that's to rock the car and see if gas spills out of the bottom of the screw hole there. That's to make sure this bowl's full of fuel. So when you romp on the old gas, she's there. You know what I mean? Okay. Well, basically what it means is, when they say pump her until she fires, what they're talking about is the accelerator pump. Okay, because the motor's not running, and you may not even have fuel pressure up to the bowl yet, but that bowl stays full of fuel. If it doesn't leak, it stays full of fuel. Okay, and basically when you're pumping the gas, there's a little arm. And it's on the pump housing. Now this is a 30 cc pump housing. Okay, it goes underneath that diaphragm. Okay, and you got this little arm right here, like this here. See? And when you're pumping the throttle, it's working that arm up and down, and it's pushing that diaphragm. It's pushing gas up through the carburetor. See? And what I come up with is, I think my solution is the squirter nozzle. What happened was, you see, this is the vent. This is the vent for air I told you about, where if it floods out, it squirts out. Well, if you look down in here, down in there, you'll see that little hole piece. All right, that's called the squirter nozzle. Okay, and I took this out. it screws in, all right? This is a squirter, okay? Well, it has little holes in it, right? And I think what the problem is those little holes. See on the side, there's one. There's another right there, and there's the key right there that locks it down, see? I think the squirter was plugged. So how I'm going to test this theory is I'm going to leave the squirter off, hook up the accelerator pump, fill the bowl full of carb cleaner, and when I pump that throttle, I should get a shot of fuel up through that hole. If I get fuel up to that hole, squirting out that hole, but I don't get any through this squirter nozzle, and by the way, you can buy these in different sizes. They're stamped. This happens to be a 25, and usually Holley says to step them up. See, I don't know if you see it or not, but there's a 25 on there. Holley says the bigger the squirter nozzle, the more fuel you can deliver. But after that, you have to step up to one of these bigger, deeper housings to hold. Like this is 30 cc's. You have to step up to a 70 cc or a 50 cc. Okay. But you step up those squirter nozzles right here. You step these up in stages of 3. So this is a 25. So if I wanted to up my squirter nozzle to get a bigger shot, and also when the motor is running, you first stomp that gas, you got all air and no fuel for a split second. Well, how you compensate for that is when the old butterfly is open in the bottom. When you pump it, you're shooting that fuel down in there, and what that does is that compensates for the lack of no fuel right off the line. Say you're drag racing, and you stomp the gas, and it just goes bleh, and then it goes boom and picks up. Well, that's because you don't have, you've got all air. You create what's called an ultra lean condition. It's really, really lean. It's like running out of gas for a split second. So a lot of times what you can do is you got to either adjust your pump arm, or you gotta step up your housing on your accelerator pump, or make sure these are clean. I had spraying out one side at one point, but I didn't now. So I decided this is like my 4th day, so I decided to go through it. And I've been watching some videos to get further educated. Like I said, I'm not a carburetor expert. That whole we tune carburetors. Yeah, we can tune them. But I mean, I'm not a master at anything. I'm just an old country boy who likes to get her done, man. So all right, well, I'm gonna put this back together, and we'll see if we got fuel squirting out of the squirter nozzle. The shaft of the squirter, and I'm gonna leave the squirter off. That'll tell me if this here squirter is plugged or not. If I got gas up to this and not through it, then it's plugged. So what I'll do is I'll take a piece of 30 thousandths weld wire, and I'll run through there. That welder that I use. I'll run through there and unplug these holes. So, all right then, we'll see you.